It's a fun time of year. I'm here with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor. Another Dave Day here on Community NEPA News. And Dave, district basketball playoffs starting up. We're going to have swimming coming up eventually. It's the wrestling individual district championships this weekend. Let's start with boys basketball. Hazleton area, Dave, they will play Delaware Valley this upcoming Saturday in the District 2, 4, 6A sub-regional boys playoffs. They lose in the Wyoming Valley Conference semifinals to Nanticoke. You said, though, they've played as well as they've played all year for 3 quarters.
They've had an outstanding season, really. They have. They won 16 games. They won a Division I championship when they were 2 games behind late in the season. So they showed the resiliency to, stay the course after losing games to Dallas and Abington Heights. They kept trusting one another. They stepped up their game. Demir Faison really stepped up his game as a leading scorer for the team, and the other players played their roles to the hilt, and they were able to overcome Crestwood not only to tie the division, but then in the playoff game, in a back-and-forth game, in overtime, they looked very, very good in shutting down Crestwood and winning the Division I championship. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way against Nanticoke, but like I said, you have another game to play and another championship to be won.
Let's see if they can put it all together in the sub-regional playoffs. Hazleton girls, Dave, lose in the first ever Wyoming Valley Conference title game to Holy Redeemer. This was a much closer game than the first time these two teams played earlier this season. Steve Stallone wrote a piece in the Standard Speaker talking about, maybe building some confidence for this Lady Cougar team. Obviously disappointed they lost the game, but maybe gaining some confidence going into the district playoffs. Here's a team, Dave, that's been hot in the second half of the season.
Yeah, they won, 15 of the last 17 games, something crazy like that. And, they went into that game with a boatload of confidence.
Dave, the Schuylkill League Girls Championship featured 2 undefeated teams in league play. One, I think Jim Thorpe's still undefeated overall on the season. They beat Monoy area in a close game. Jim Thorpe's coach said, hey, this Monoy team played the best defense against us all year long. That's kind of what Monoy area known for. They play that tight defense. Coach Tom Sheeler. And I also think that there's a chance they'll be the number 1 seed in the District 11 2A playoffs. Number 2 seed, Marion Catholic. They both get a bye. They'll both have to win one game, but a possibility of rematch. And third time around for Marion, that's a very good team that Monoy will be looking out for. Dave, we've talked about Emily Schott here for the Marion Phillies, big-time scorer, but they also have 2 bigs on Marion. Emma McClafferty is one of them who won a state medal in track and field, will be going on to college to participate in that sport, but they've helped them a long way too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They've had a big season for the Phillies, and they're a reason that they've lost a handful of games this year, Marion, and I believe 2 of them are in the Mono area. They've beaten some very good teams along the way, too. If you look at the District 11 brackets, top seeds, they beat Notre Dame, Green Pond. They beat Lake Lehman, one of the powers in the Wyoming Valley Conference this year. A lot of top teams that Marion's beaten this year, too, so they're not going to be awestruck by the chance of playing against Monoy. And, and a little, if you're any kind of competitor, a team that beat you twice during the season, you're going to want to see that team again. But again, you got to take care of business at hand first.
Who's Marion's other big? I can't think of it right now. It's Emma and
Isabella Schwab.
Isabella Schwab. Yes. Thank you very much, Dave. Danny Burlitz, Dave, you brought him up last week. He had a phenomenal Schuylkill League swimming meet. Broke the 200 freestyle record. That was his. I think he also broke the area and league record in that. Also the 100 breaststroke. He won there, breaking league area records as well. He announced he will go to the University of Michigan to swim. This was a lifelong dream for him. I talked to him in the summer. He was verbally committed to Auburn, was excited about it. Sometimes we don't think about this, what these student athletes have to go through. These are big, major life decisions, and Danny ultimately chose to go to the University of Michigan because that's what he's wanted to do his entire life. And Dave, he has 2 state championships. Hopefully he can enjoy the rest of his senior year, decisions out of the way, but he has another huge opportunity in front of him as swimming season comes to an end here.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's one of the top swimmers that ever come out of this region. It proves it by, what he's been able to accomplish on the district and state level, and he goes all over to swim, so he's he's a competitive swimmer, in a very truest sense of the word. And going into the state tournament, I'm sure he's going to be one of the favorites in his events. And then to have the opportunity to swim at a university like Michigan, a Big Ten power. Didn't somebody named Michael Phelps swim at Michigan at one time? So it has an outstanding program. It's been a lifelong dream of his to swim at Michigan, too. He's a Michigan football fan as well. So, I guess you have that Block M. You're used to it at Marion. Now you got another Block M at Michigan, and Danny will represent Marion in this area well as he continues forward.
Well, Dave, Fred Barletta and staff at the Hazleton Area High School had to be busy. They hosted the Wyoming Valley Conference Basketball Championships this weekend. The District 2 Individual Wrestling Championships will be held there, and Hazleton area will be well represented. I'm thinking of Shane Noonan right off the top of my head, still undefeated on the season.
Yeah, Shane Noonan is going to be one of the wrestlers to watch. There's no doubt about that. He goes into the postseason, with a big target on his back, but he's been able to embrace any challenge he's had this season. A lot of other wrestlers on that Cougar team that are going to be vying for district championships this week, and it's nice to see it in our backyard. I mean, if local wrestling fans are out there, you're not doing anything this weekend. It's a heck of a tournament. The facility is top notch, and you're going to see a lot of outstanding wrestling because the Wyoming Valley Conference year in, year out produces outstanding wrestlers, state qualifiers, state champions, and it's your chance to see them this weekend.
Make sure you're reading all of Dave's work in the Standard Speaker during this very busy time for the sports year, and also keeping up with us here at SSP TV News and on Community NEPA News.